I mean, we want as a family to bring emotions to the French public and hopefully even abroad. So a new story, a bit risky for sure, but we like a little bit of risk.
In the world of European football, a revolution is brewing in Paris. A French revolution of football that Napoleon would be proud of. The Arnaults, the richest family in France, owners of luxury giant LVMH, have joined forces with Red Bull to transform Ligue 2 side Paris FC. Jürgen Klopp, one of the most famous football managers in recent time, has been appointed the head of global soccer for Red Bull GmbH. This unprecedented alliance brings together extraordinary wealth, global sports know-how, and a clear vision to create what Paris has lacked for 35 years, a genuine football rivalry, revolution at the highest level. The Arnault family, led by Bernard Arnault, represents extraordinary wealth and business acumen. As the owners of LVMH, the world's largest luxury goods conglomerate with brands like Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Moet and Chandon, the Arnaults topped Forbes' list of richest billionaires in 2024. Their majority 52% stake in Paris FC brings not just financial muscle, but also sophisticated brand-building expertise. Red Bull, while holding a smaller 11% stake, contributes something equally valuable: proven experience in building successful football clubs. The Austrian energy drinks company has transformed clubs in multiple countries, including RB Leipzig in Germany, Red Bull Salzburg in Austria, and the New York Red Bulls in the United States. Their global football network spans across Brazil, Japan, and England as well. Adding further intrigue to this partnership is the involvement of Jürgen Klopp, the celebrated former Liverpool manager. Following his departure from Anfield, Klopp joined Red Bull as head of football operations, bringing his technical vision, tactical expertise, and unifying leadership to the Paris FC project, albeit from a distance. Paris FC is not a new creation. Founded in 1969, the club actually shares historical DNA with PSG itself. When Paris Saint-Germain was formed in 1970, it was through a merger with Paris FC. The clubs later split, with PSG continuing in the top division while Paris FC languished in lower leagues for decades. Despite their struggles, Paris FC has developed a reputation for producing exceptional talent. France internationals Ibrahima Konate, Axel Disasi, and Nordi Mukiele all came through the Paris FC Academy. However, financial limitations meant these players were often poached by other clubs before making significant first-team contributions. The club's women's team has been more successful, regularly finishing third in the French top flight behind only Lyon and PSG. Previously known as Juvisy, before merging with Paris FC in 2017, the women's team are six-time national champions with regular European qualification. In May 2025, just 6 months after the takeover, Paris FC secured promotion to Ligue 1, meaning Paris will have two teams in the French top division for the first time in 35 years. This rapid success has accelerated the timeline for the project's ambitions. The new ownership has outlined a clear strategic vision that differentiates Paris FC from PSG in several key ways. 1. Local talent focus. While PSG has built its success largely through importing global superstars, Paris FC aims to capitalize on the rich talent pool of the Paris region. Club president Pierre Ferracci, who retained his position after selling his majority stake, emphasized, "We want the club's spine to be from the Paris region. Everyone else signs players from Paris, so it would be good for a local club to build on that." Second, academy development. Building on their existing reputation for youth development, the club plans to invest heavily in their academy systems for both men and women. Red Bull's expertise in talent identification and development will be crucial here. Third, balanced growth. Rather than immediately splashing enormous sums on established stars, the ownership is taking a more measured approach. Antoine Arnault, representing the family on the board, described it as an ambitious project, but not an unrealistic one, learning from the cautionary tale of Matra Racing's failed 1980s project. Fourth, women's football. Unlike many takeovers that focus exclusively on men's teams, Paris FC is equally committed to developing their women's team to challenge the Lion PSG duopoly in French women's football. Fifth, stadium development.
Just behind me, you can see Parc des Princes, the home of Paris Saint-Germain. But if I just take a couple of steps over to my right, we can see what will be the new home of Paris FC behind Julian. So,
currently playing at the multi-purpose Stade de Charletti, which has an athletics track and limited atmosphere, Paris FC plans to relocate to Stade Jean Bouin, a 19,600 capacity ground directly across the street from PSG's Parc des Princes. This symbolic positioning places them literally in PSG's backyard, though the club has avoided framing this as provocative. Despite their resources and ambition, Paris FC faces significant challenges. 1. PSG's entrenched position. PSG has spent over a decade building global brand recognition, assembling world-class facilities, and establishing commercial partnerships. Their Qatari ownership has invested billions in making PSG one of the world's most valuable football brands. 2. Fan culture. PSG has a well-established fan base throughout Paris and beyond. Paris FC will need to cultivate its own distinct identity and supporter culture, likely positioning itself as a more authentic, community-focused alternative. Third, sporting success. Ultimately, challenging PSG will require on-field success. Building a competitive team capable of qualifying for European competitions will be the first benchmark, with domestic titles the longer-term goal. Fourth, regulatory constraints. Financial fair play regulations and French football's financial controls will limit how quickly the Arnauts can invest in the playing squad, requiring a more strategic approach to team building. 5. Multi-club ownership concerns. While the ownership has dismissed the prospect of Paris FC becoming Red Bull Paris or being subsumed into Red Bull's multi-club model, balancing the influence of Red Bull's expertise with maintaining the club's distinct identity will require careful management. The Paris FC project represents more than just a local rivalry. It potentially signals a new model of football ownership, combining luxury brand expertise with established sports industry know-how. If successful, it could inspire similar partnerships elsewhere. For PSG, having genuine local competition could either spur them to greater heights or potentially dilute their dominance of French football's most lucrative market. The Qatari owners may need to reconsider aspects of their strategy in response. For French football broadly, having two strong Paris clubs could increase the league's commercial appeal and competitive balance. Ligue 1 has often been criticized as a one-team league during PSG's dominance. A genuine title race involving multiple well-resourced clubs would enhance its global standing. The Red Bull and Arnault family takeover of Paris FC represents one of the most intriguing developments in European football. By combining extraordinary wealth with proven sports industry expertise and a clear strategic vision, they have created a project with genuine potential to challenge PSG's hegemony. While the journey from promotion to genuine rivals will take time, the foundations being laid suggest this is no vanity project, but a serious long-term investment in creating a sustainable football powerhouse. As Antoine Arnault diplomatically put it, "I think there's room for two clubs in Paris, for two different stories that could be complementary." Whether that cordial approach survives the potentially bitter reality of a battle for supremacy remains to be seen. What's certain is that after decades as a one-club city at the top level, Paris is finally set for a football rivalry befitting its status as one of the world's great sporting capitals.